Alamgeer, Chapter 1. A small rumble shook the foundation of the majestic stone castle nestled in the bedrock of the burning mountain. As the china clicked and clattered and the lights flickered and flashed, a pair of cries echoed in the arms of a woman whose skin was pale white, but glistened like diamonds, and whose eyes were pink as pixies with a dash of black pepper. "Shh, Jungen! Shh, Mama is here," she said, comforting them. The little boys sniffled back their young tears, and the woman soaked them with her sleeves. There, my boys, no more tears. Let's go and see what made you cry, shall we?" she said to them as she wiped their young and vibrant faces. She took the boys by the hand and walked them towards an arched window, which gave a view like no other. Peering out, they saw the world, and down below them lava twisted and turned like a snake in the grass, slithering and sliding until it found its prey. The city was built at the base of a volcano, where fire and heat was the people's livelihood. As the volcano erupted and lava flowed, the city planners designed the urban life to guide the magma under its streets and around its borders. "It's scary, Mama," said one of the twin boys, frightened by its eerie glow. "It's only scary for a moment, but this beast of destruction is also a giver of life, and without it we would not exist," she said, comforting her child. "Is that true, Pa?" asked the boy, less frightened. "Nothing could be truer," Alamgeer said as he watched the liquid fire coast down the mountainside. "How are my boys this morning? Are you behaving for Mom, Almart?" "Yes, Vater," said the boy. "And what about you, Attila?" he asked again. "Yes, sir," the boy said bashfully. "These two are always behaving, Alam. Isn't that right, boys?" said his wife, Helle. The twins shook their heads in agreement. "How did last night's meeting go?" she asked. "It went well. This is going to be a very long and patient endeavor. I need to make sure I have the right men at my side and to be aware of any leaks." "I have no doubt you'll succeed. What time are the signings today?" "They are this afternoon. I'll be leaving here shortly with the publisher. She should be coming within the hour," Alamgeer informed her while still looking out at the flow of coulis as it seeped under the city streets. The lava matched his eyes as if they were made by the volcanic goo, but nothing mirrored his lifeless, pale skin. "Boys, go play somewhere for a minute. I need to talk to your mother," he instructed them. "Yes, Vater," they said in unison. They quickly scurried off, eager to play and be wild. His molten, burning eyes gazed into the vibrant flares of his wife's. His expression was stern and serious, yet it was nothing that seemed to concern Helle. She had seen his many expressions 1,000 times over. He grabbed her warm hands and cupped them like a chalice. "Helle, I need you to know that the next few years will be incredibly difficult. People will go hungry. They will be angry, and the country will be unsafe from its own people. There will be times when I may ask you to do something that seems as if it is wrong. It may betray your conscience, but I beg you to heed my words now. So when the time does come, when our world seems to be in turmoil, you will not hesitate when I ask you to do something." He watched as her eyes darted back and forth, looking at his. It was silent for a moment, and then she kissed his masculine hands that held hers. "Alam, I made an oath to you when we married. My heart is yours, my mind is yours, and my body is yours. Just as you are mine, I'm on your side, now and forever. If you're wrong, I will be wrong with you, and if you're right, I will share your glory, but I will let you shine in all of it. I know tough times are here, and they will get worse, but trust me as I trust you, and together we will fear nothing and achieve everything." She ameliorated the doubts in his heart with her words, and Alamgeer's mind felt less clouded and his path clearer and more direct. It seemed like only mere moments had passed when their Dina entered the large study with a woman who was wildly flamboyant. Her lips were siren red and her glossy orange hair waved like a flag in the wind as she walked. Her eyes were lined with a dark violet shade, bolding her dark brown eyes with confidence. "Allah, Allah!" she called him with a voice less seductive than her appearance. Are you ready, my love? Are you excited? You've sold over 1 million books just in this country alone. It's absolutely astounding, she said charismatically. I am thrilled, Francis, Alamgeer answered with a flat tone. Don't be such a bore, Allah. Show a little more enthusiasm. These people are coming here to see you. Because of what you have said in your book, you might have started a cultural revolution. These are just words on paper. An action must be taken in order to start a revolution. And is writing a book to be the voice of the people not an action? She insisted on arguing. This is just a book on how I feel. If others feel as I do, then they should act upon their feelings, he said slightly more aggressively. Then why don't you act, Allah? He did not answer her, but his mind replied, I will. Where is the car, Francis? Oh, we are not driving, my dear. Oh, no. I have something better, more grand, more exciting, more revolutionary, she said theatrically. As she talked, a black horse with large golden eyes, pulling an open Ariete carriage, stopped in front of them. I present to you Copenhagen and his Ariete carriage, Francis said delightedly. Not thrilled with the thought of riding an open wagon, Alamgeer's face was expressionless, but his eyes spoke disdain. He entered and saw there was no place to sit. He looked over at Francis, but said nothing. It's more commanding if you're standing. When people look at you, they will see power and strength, whereas if you were sitting, they wouldn't think much of you at all, she explained. The steed was light-footed and trotted with an arrogant attitude, which Alamgeer found quite amusing. Copenhagen's hooves clacked on the translucent roads, drawing attention from the people in the city. Francis seemed to be right. The citizens stopped to look at the unique scene. Some were taking pictures and others videos. They would stop and point in his direction. Some people waved hello and others yelled out to get his attention. He looked down at Francis and grinned. What did I tell you? She smiled. I am a sucker for augustness. Alamgeer could see the newly fallen magma below the streets as his carriage took him to his destination. The sky above was dark and gloomy, as was the city. The skyscrapers seemed old and dated, and the sidewalks cracked and weathered. It was as if all the joy and happiness in the world had vanished, leaving only despair and sadness for those who remained. Since the war, the country had fallen into economically woeful times. Prices of goods and services were rising rapidly, paying bills was getting more difficult for the average citizen, morale was low, and without a leader to guide the people, only misery would remain. Alamgeer's heart did not ache for the sights he saw. Instead, his heart raged with anger. This was Holle, one of the greatest nations to ever have existed. People would flock from all the corners of the world to learn mathematics, philosophy, and astronomy. But now it was a country of ill repute and tainted scholars. He and Francis had reached the Atma library, where Alamgeer would be signing books and taking holopics and holovids with his fans. There was already a line of people that seemed to span 100 yards, waiting to meet and talk with him. Alamgeer felt a sense of pride and dynamism within his soul as he saw all those who were coming to see him and hear more about what he had to say within his book. After signing countless books and talking to hundreds of admirers, Alamgeer only had a handful of people left in his line. As the next person came up, Alamgeer was delighted by what the man had to say. My Nietzsche is my struggle too, and if your words are my words, if you plan to lead, I will surely follow. Alamgeer hid his smile at hearing the comment. You should stay for the speech I have in about an hour and a half. I think you'll like what I have to say, he told the man. At 8 o'clock then? Will I see you there? Alamgeer asked. Absolutely,